The Legend of Zelda has always been about the player putting themselves in the shoes of the hero, saving Hyrule from the evil forces and going on an epic quest. But what makes Link the hero? What makes Ganon evil? And what makes Zelda the rightful owner of the Triforce of Wisdom? Is Link really the hero, or is Zelda and her entire kingdom the evil forces behind every event in Zelda? We will be discussing today how the Triforce can drive, warp, and shape inherently good people into evil entities bent on the destruction of their enemies. Let's begin today's theory about how the goddesses do not care about Hyrule and how the Triforce is evil. This was a tough theory to cover, so I asked for a person by the name of M.Productions on YouTube for some help. So he will be collabing with me on today's video.
Hey, it's M.Productions. I also do some Zelda theories myself, and otherwise I'm glad to be here.
Let's begin with what the Triforce is and what it does. It's a floating pair of 3 triangles made of assumed to be solid gold. The Triforce can grant anyone's wish who touches it. This is outlined in several of the games, but in the final parts of Wind Waker, the king explains fully and displays how this works.
Imagine an object in our world that could grant any person's one wish just by touching it. What madness and destruction this object would bring is exactly what the Triforce does to Hyrule. Once you dig deep revolving the source of the conflict dealing in the events of Hyrule, the Triforce is the root cause of all the strife and conflict pertaining to Hyrule. It can cause people to chase after it in pursuit of their own desires and ambitions, as shown with Ganondorf.
One would question why such an object exists if it could bring the destruction of everything.
And that would be a good question. For all the lore there is and information, there is no answer for why the Triforce was created exactly. The goddesses made an artifact that had the power to wish them out of existence. And doesn't that sound a little bit irresponsible?
This artifact caused a chain of events that prompted Ganondorf to take over Hyrule and destroy the lives of everyone. Then why, if the Triforce had such horrible powers, did the people of Hyrule keep it around?
In Link Between Worlds, the inhabitants destroyed the Triforce to get rid of the threat. However, this caused the world to crumble away. If Hyrule attempted to destroy the Triforce, it would have destroyed them, just as it had with Link Between Worlds.
But if Hyrule keeps the Triforce, it is doomed to repeat history. Ganon's constant return, among other villains, or the other choice, destruction.
But Proto, the goddesses deliberately set up a situation where the inhabitants of Hyrule would seek to obtain the Triforce, but there is no real reason behind that either, as the goddesses never seem to come back.
The goddesses essentially gave a cursed existence to Hyrule via the Triforce.
This in turn means that due to the Triforce's nature and the creatures the goddesses created, they will always seek the Triforce, and Hyrule will always be in conflict because of this ambition.
When Ganondorf was about to obtain the Triforce in its entirety, the goddesses flooded the land of Hyrule, essentially prolonging the future conflict with Ganondorf in Wind Waker, even though they still did not see threat enough to destroy the Triforce or Ganondorf himself. The goddesses set up this situation where their creations constantly seek out the Triforce. Because of the ambition in their creations, they will constantly compete with each other over the Triforce. This conflict is apparent in every single Zelda game with the exception of a few side games.
There can never be true peace in Hyrule because the goddesses never set up Hyrule for peace in the first place. The goddesses set up a world that would revolve around the Triforce and nothing else. Why would godlike creatures set up this type of world with nothing to gain from it unless they were deliberately biased towards the Triforce?
The goddesses don't care about Hylians, humans, Gorons, Zoras, etc. They only care about the Triforce. They only intervene in the world if the Triforce is threatened. They don't intervene in any other matter.
Therefore, the goddesses don't care about Hyrule. They care about the Triforce.
So let's do a recap here.
The goddesses create the world, Hyrule, and the Triforce, leaving no explanation or reason to why it exists in the first place. Certain individuals attain the power and create the Golden Land. Then later others attain the power, causing chaos, strife, and the rise of evil.
Wars break out, destruction ensues, and all for one's wish to be granted. Eventually, a temple is made to seal away this power and prevent anyone else from obtaining it. and the guarding of this power is left with the Hyrule royal family.
After all the events, nothing is known as to why the Triforce is made, other than it is an evil keystone that binds the world into existence, and without it, everyone dies. The goddesses do not care what happens to their creations, they only care for their own creation that has ultimate power, the Triforce.
And that is why the goddesses and the Triforce are evil.
Perhaps Ganondorf wasn't the wrong one. After all, being oppressed and hunted for all of his life may have left him a bit bitter, and with no answers as to why things are the way they are, it's no wonder he sought after the power to change the world into what he wanted.
Maybe he was creating a world without the goddesses. Maybe he was destroying the Triforce, but that will be for another theory. I want to thank M.Productions for helping me out with this theory, as he did most of the research.
But Proto, you thought about this thought-provoking theory first. Anyways, I really enjoyed being on here. I make other Zelda theories in my channel over at M.Productions. Anyways, I sincerely hope you enjoyed our video, everyone.
That's it for today's theory. Please like and share this video with everyone you can, and I've been your host, Protomario. I'm signing out. Good gaming, and God bless. And now, the important decision of joining the Maverick Rebellion. We are a tight group of individuals who rebel against stereotypes and greater evils that are commonly accepted. ISPs, children being conned out of games, sexism in video games, enough is enough, and the Mavericks have had it. If you choose to subscribe, or stay subscribed, you are joining the fight against injustice by watching my numerous video topics, from net neutrality to publishers covering up botched releases. The Mavericks are always informed on the issues plaguing your gaming experience today. So don't be left out in the cold, and don't let those people keep you down. Join the Maverick Rebellion today and become a member of the community that will listen and engage with you. What are you waiting for? Just click subscribe and you'll be in good company. Mavericks unite! Please note that in all my videos, if I use images from Google, that I do not own any of those images, and all images attained from Google are owned by their respective owners and copyrights.